Welcome everybody. We're at Mama Wanda's Garden School where we grow and we learn and we heal ourselves and the earth. How about that, kids?
Yeah!
Today we're going to get our garden started and I got some helpers. This is Jamari.
Hey, what's up?
This is Heavy.
Hey, how's it going?
And this is my friend Lori Caldwell.
Hey.
We sometimes call her Lady Decomposer because she knows everything about soil. Ready to learn about some soil, Jamari?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Do you have some worries?
Well, I just don't want to get my new shoes dirty.
Yeah. You know, that is a common problem these days. My people come from Africa, and we were brought over to the United States as slaves to grow all of the food. But when those slaves were freed, they went running from those plantations. They wanted to go to the cities and they didn't want to grow food anymore. And so we stopped growing our food. And as a result, we don't have the healthy bodies we used to have. We don't have the wonderful community that you get when you tend the earth together. And we don't have a spiritual connection to the land. So my mission is to teach kids like you how to take care of their bodies by growing good food and eating it, how to do it as a group so we learn teamwork and love, and how to be good stewards of the planet.
Wow, sounds great.
Are you ready?
Yeah, sounds really important.
To take care of the earth, we need soil. Right, Miss Lori? What would you say
absolutely.
about putting, the life into the soil?
I would say, Mom Wanda, it is extremely important to bring life back into the soil. If you give the soil love, it's going to give it love right back at you with bigger flowers and bigger fruits and less pests, all kinds of great stuff.
So first, we're going to let Miss Lori talk to you just a little bit about soil. We're going to do a little nitty-gritty soil test. And then guess what?
What?
I'm going to teach you how to travel by wormhole. Are you ready?
Cool.
Wow.
Field trip coming up.
I love a field
Come
trip.
on with us.
Yes.
Knowing your soil and having healthy soil is essential to having a strong crops. No matter what you're growing, flowers, fruit, or vegetables, good soil is the place to start. So we've got Lori here to teach us just a little bit. Take it away.
Right on, Mom Wanda.
Yeah.
So let's start off with just soil. So what is it? Soil is pretty much just broken down pieces of rock, air, water, and a little bit of organic material.
What's organic material?
Oh, any kind of thing that's going to eventually break down and kind of build up healthy soil. So if you've ever
Right.
used things like mulches,
Right.
that's organic material. Of course, compost
Right.
is an organic,
Right. Not
or soil amendment.
plastic.
No, or
Right.
glass or metal.
Okay, natural things.
Yeah, something that's
Okay.
going to help build the soil. Where we live, there's pretty much two basic soil types. There's sandy soil and there's clay soil. If you know what type of soil that you have, the easier it's going to be for you to garden. Sandy soil has a tendency to drain relatively quickly. Clay soil holds onto water very, very tightly, and sometimes it makes it difficult for roots to kind of penetrate through it.
Yes.
So,
So how do you know?
well, I'm going to go ahead and show you,
All
Mama
right,
Wanda.
I'm
I
ready.
love this. Is my favorite test. It's
Oh,
called the
yay.
nitty-gritty dirt test.
Nitty-gritty dirt test.
So all you really need is some water, an empty jar without a label, which I have, and some of the soil from your garden. So I'm going to take the soil, put it in the jar. Mom Wanda,
Can I do it?
Absolutely. Top me off.
Okay.
All the way to the top. Perfect.
Ooh.
And then I'm going to go ahead and put on the lid.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to give it a really good shake. I want to shake it up as much as I possibly can. Give it a good shake. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it somewhere where it won't be touched for about a day.
And what's going to happen? Or
Well-
what are we trying to do?
Well, what we're going to try to do is this.
Huh.
Like that. Magic, TV magic. So this is from my backyard. I have sandy soil. So as you can see, sand is just like it is on the beach. Large particles
Uh-huh.
on the bottom. They're going to settle to the bottom. And then the very fine layer you see right on top of that, that's our clay. Clay is really small, almost it's microscopic.
Uh-huh.
So it's going to settle on the bottom. You can see it's a little bit of a darker color. And then on the top, I have some floaties. That's just giving me the indication how much organic material that I have in my soil. So sometimes, depending on how well you're doing by building your healthy soil, this may be a little bit thicker. Or if you know nothing about healthy soil building practices, there may be nothing in this at all.
So if you have the ideal soil,
Which is loam.
loam, what will it look like in here? Like proportions, like
Sure, it would be like 50-50. Half of this would be sand, the other half would be clay, and then there would be a fair amount of organic material floating on the top, but definitely a lot more than that.
Okay.
And that's really what your goal is. And if you're kind of looking at soil as a pie chart, organic material only really constitute about 5%. So you really don't need tons of organic material to get that kind of loamy state.
right?
So, but
Okay.
you kind of always have to work with what you already have. So I know I have sandy soil, so I know I'm going to have to amend a little bit more with compost. Probably going to have to water a little bit more as well.
You know, I've been wanting to introduce you to my friend Otis, the compost king.
Oh, right on.
Right? And he's got worms. We need to go get some worms to start a bin.
Yes.
Right? He's got compost piles. It'd be a nice trip. How about we go for a ride?
I would love it.
Wormhole style, so we
I
can
would-
get there fast.
Perfect. Bring
All
it.
right.
I'm down.
I'm going to go get these kids.
Okay.
Let's get ready to go.
Awesome.
Okay, kids,
Yeah,
we've learned a little about soil.
sure have.
We know that our soil needs some amendments.
That's right.
That means compost and worms. How about going on a field trip?
Oh, yeah!
We're gonna go
Field
to a
trip,
real
yeah!
ranch. We'll see some goats. We'll see some rabbits. We'll see some chickens. And most importantly, worms.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of traffic, and let's not waste the fossil fuel. We're gonna travel by wormhole.
Wormhole?
You might be the first kids to ever do this. I'm gonna get us help.
Very good.
My friend Harriet Grubman is here.
Oh,
and
wow.
Harriet is a very special soul who is the conductor on the underground wormholes.
Where?
Yeah. Oh,
Where?
hey, Harriet. How you doing?
Hello, friends.
I'm so excited to meet you.
Hello, hello.
Thank you for coming.
Say hi, Jamari.
Yeah, say
Who are
hi,
you
Jamari.
talking to? I can't even see where you're
Harriet
talking.
Grubman right here.
Where?
You can't see her?
No.
Well, we're gonna help you work on your Gaia eyes. Sometimes you gotta get real grounded in the soil, risk getting dirty, and when you get used to that, you'll start seeing and hearing all kinds of things in the garden.
Okay.
Trust me on it,
All right.
okay? All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, friends. Follow me to the underground. This will not be an easy ride, but if you reach the other side, grounding in freedom, you may find.
So, to go down this wormhole, I want you to get grounded and centered. I want you to get very still. Breathe deeply and freeze. Okay. Hi. Land. Ooh, breathe. Center yourself. After that trip down that wormhole, I told you. Was it fun?
Yeah.
Otis. Hey, it is so good to see you. Remember I told you I was going to introduce you? This is Mr. Otis Johnson. I call him the Compost King.
He's the king of compost.
Compost
Thank you,
is
Heavy.
the king of compost anyway.
Compost has no king.
No, what is
Oh.
it?
Compost is king. And today we're going to talk about what compost does, how it affects you, and see what it does in the world.
But you know what? These little kids, can we see this ranch first? and then talk compost?
Absolutely.
All right. What do you want to see while we're here, by the way, before we go walking?
Oh,
Anything?
I want to see the goats.
Baby goats. I heard there were baby goats born just yesterday. What else? Jamari?
I want to see a large fry.
Oh, right. Jamari,
What?
I know you love
I'm
those
just a
fries.
little hungry.
I know, a little hungry. Do you know where fries come from?
Yeah, from
Where?
the burger store.
And then before that?
In a truck.
And before that?
No.
French fries are actually a vegetable called potatoes.
Whoa.
So, again, that dirt that you worry about,
Yeah.
it produces one of your most favorite things in this world.
No.
Come on.
What?
Potatoes grow under the ground.
Don't.
In the dirt.
Blasphemy.
With the worms taking care of it.
Oh
Totally.
my God.
Totally.
No.
We gonna
Don't
get
say
you-
it so.
I swear we're going to go get some potatoes
Mama
for you.
Wanda.
I'm going to teach you and show you where fries come from. Are you ready, sir?
Welcome. Let's take a tour of the ranch. You will enjoy this.
Here we go.
Awesome. Lead the way.
I'm going.
All right. Yeah. Okay, I'll catch up. I'll be right there. All right. I don't know about this.
What's the matter?
It's just a lot of dirt. Dirt is dirty.
Otis, talk to us about these chickens. Why are there so many of them?
Now, in the world that is compost and food, these chickens are providing eggs, fertilized eggs, which are high in nutrients. So chickens are also eating bugs, they're eating vegetation, and they're eating concentrated food pellets. They produce rich manure. That
What's
is
manure?
Great for growing things.
Who knows what manure is? Heavy.
I do.
What is it?
It's poop.
What'd you say?
Poop.
Swear. Why would somebody want some poop? Do you use the poop, Otis?
I absolutely
What do
use
you
the
do?
poop.
What do you mean you use the poop?
Woohoo! You can use the poop. Chicken poop is a hot poop. It has a lot of nitrogen. You can use it directly on plants, but often because it's hot, it can burn plants. So it's better if it's composted first. We'll show you that.
Oh, we're going back. So you can put the compost in the soil. The
Okay.
poop feeds your food.
Poop feeds food. This is getting gross.
It is kind of gross, but look at these beautiful chickens. Look, there's an egg, so you get food from them, and
Okay.
you can feed them the garbage from your kitchens. And then you get their poop, you put that in the compost, you put that in the soil, and then you know what sometimes you can even do? Who eats fried chicken? Anybody?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. These are chickens.
What?
So they're also food.
Those?
They could be at the end of their lives when
Yeah.
they don't lay eggs anymore.
Right.
That's often what happens.
Whoa.
But that's the cycle of life. Right.
Unlike the chickens at KFC, these chickens can move around. They're not
That's true.
confined in small, tiny, cruel cages.
Dude, they got a good life. Look at them.
Otis, I have a question.
Okay.
What's better for compost, the goat poop or the chicken poop?
Well, that's a great question. The chicken poop is a superior poop in this case.
Superior poop.
Superior poop.
I like it.
You can grow more things, but the goat poop has its place. You can use goat poop directly as a fertilizer in your plants. It will not burn them, unlike chicken poop, which has to be composted first. But you can also use goat poop and compost it. It is high in phosphorus, which is great for growing plants whose flowers you consume.
How about dog poop? Is there
So-
somebody's poop you shouldn't use?
Except for chickens, we only eat or use the poop of animals that are vegetarians, because the other ones are too close to us in their composition, and they can have pathogens and diseases that could harm us. So we do not compost and use dog poop or cat poop to eat.
Hey, Heavy,
Yeah.
want to feed a goat?
I would love that.
Look.
Oh, it's so cute.
Can you feel? Look, it's like a baby,
It is so cute.
right? This goat doesn't have a mama, so you gotta feed it with a bottle. You wanna try it, Jamari?
No,
Why not?
I don't have opposable thumbs.
All right, kids. So now we want to talk about soil. So can anybody tell me anything they know about soil?
Soil is dirty.
Heavy?
Yeah, it produces all the food that we have and it has lots of nutrients.
Absolutely. She's completely right. At least it should have a lot of nutrition in order to help us produce a lot of food. Soil comes in a couple different soil types, and I think we talked about it earlier when we were at Mama Wanda's over at Hoover. We did what was called the nitty-gritty dirt test. Remember that part?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You
that
put
was
it in
great,
the
huh?
water and stir it up, something like this.
Absolutely. And so the whole purpose of that test was to determine what type of soil you have and how much organic material you have in the soil. And so we kind of briefly talked about different types of soil types. The two of the main ones that we have are clay and sand. And so here on the ranch today, I just wanted to point out that they have specifically sandy soil. And I can really discern that without even really having to do nitty gritty. So you want to take a look?
Yeah.
Okay, come take a look at this really quick. So this soil, what can you tell me about it?
Kind of falls apart.
It does kind of fall apart.
Doesn't stay in your hand at all.
It doesn't stay
Doesn't
in
clump.
my hand.
There's no clumping.
There's definitely not a clumping. It feels gritty in my hand like sand would, like when you go to the beach. So this is definitely sandy soil for sure. But I want to show you a couple different things. Now, this is from the same hole, but what are the differences between these two soil samples?
One's a little darker.
Mm-hmm. What do you think the dark one means?
It has more nutrients or more water.
Absolutely, more nutrients. There's a lot more nutrition in it that makes it dark. What are some of the things that you see on the ground that represent organic material? Something that's natural, something that's eventually going to break down.
Straw.
Straw, absolutely.
Sticks.
Sticks, absolutely. Grass, absolutely.
Oh, poop.
Poop,
What?
definitely.
What?
Yes.
That what?
So much poop.
That's poop?
Yes, that is definitely poop.
What?
Well,
Mama Wanda!
Well, I'm sitting in it. The nice thing about, herbivore poop is it's very easy to wash off. So all you got to do is go home and put your clothes in the washing machine.
You just look like Tootsie Rolls to me.
Yeah, but don't eat them.
All right, I won't.
Very good. So what else can you tell me? Heavy, what can you tell me? What are the similarities between us and soil?
Well, we all have needs, like we need to eat good food and breathe good air and drink good water.
Absolutely. And that's all soil needs as well. Like I said, soil is like a living and breathing thing, just like us.
Okay, wow. I
That's
had
right.
no idea.
See? Speaking about soil, we had this big question earlier about where French fries come from, right?
Yeah, where do they come
And
from?
how much you love from. Well, they come from a place like this. They come from inside the soil. Potatoes grow and thrive in the soil. There's a whole host of vegetables that live in the soil, things like beets and turnips and carrots. Carrots, absolutely. But these are grown under the ground, and so they're nurtured by the soil and watered by the soil, and then you end up with this lovely potato at the end, which we're gonna cut up and deep fry for the best French fries you probably have ever had.
Woohoo!
Guaranteed.
Fry it up.
Fry it up, of course.
All right, so now here on the ranch, we're going to make some worm compost. And we're going to use a special kind of worm. We call them Eisenia fetida. They grow above the ground for the most part, compared to earthworms that are in the ground and come up. And so we keep these guys in a bin. Eventually we'll put them into big piles, but right now they are in a bin. And so they don't like the light, so we keep them covered to keep them away from the light. As we take that off, you can see them begin to move away from it. And so I'm going to take my little fork right here, and I'm going to dig in there, and I'm going to hope that you're going to be able to see these guys.
All right.
And there they are.
So
And a true compost person will reach right in there.
at that.
A non-compost person will run from
See all
that.
those worms?
They're also known as red wigglers. So if you're actually looking for worms to do your own composting at home,
Look.
red wigglers is the variety that you're looking for.
Worms eat bacteria and fungi in small parts. They don't have a very well-developed mouth, and so they can't take in large particles of food. The food needs to break down to a very small part before the worms can actually consume it. They consume twice their body weight in food every day. So
wish
it
I could
takes
do
a
that.
very small amount of worms to process a lot of food waste. But the reason that I have compost and worm compost is much higher in nutrient value, and those nutrients are also soluble. They break down in water. So that if I want to fertilize a plant very quickly, I can take water and run it through my worm compost and fertilize my plant immediately. Passing through a worm also, it multiplies the number of microbes that are in it. The worm's gut has microbes in it, mostly bacteria. Those bacteria, when you get them, you can put them into your plants. Those bacteria then help your plants to grow.
Look
This
at that.
is worm poop, and you can see how much darker worm poop is than this is horse poop that hasn't been processed into worm poop. If you let it go a little longer, it will get even darker than that. But at this point, I have to move it on because I have more material to bring into the system.
Well, I really need to really give a shout out to not only the worms and the bacteria and the fungus in your worm bin, but some of the other compost critters, because worms don't have teeth. So it's really important, again, for all that material to be broken down very easily. I kind of liken it to more like a smoothie consistency, and they're able to take that in. But because of that, there's a lot of other players like Columbola and roly-polies. Those are the big shredders in a worm bin. They're going to shred the material down to much smaller sizes. So it's going to make it easier for bacteria and fungus to turn it into kind of that smoothie consistency. And then the worms take that in, and then they poop it out and give us great worm castings. That's another fancy name for worm poop.
Wow, Mama Wanda, I never thought I'd be thinking about poop smoothies.
Poop smoothies are the way. We're gonna save the work. You know, it's really what I love about all of these compost lessons, because what taking care of worms or growing a compost bin does for you is teach you about the value of things that are messy, and they might be dirty and nasty like you talked about, but when they go through life cycle, guess what? They're high fertility, right? They give life and they give freedom, and it's the reason that all of us can live. So, could I keep like a small worm farm or something like that at my house? Or do I have to be like Otis the King with all his...
No, not at all. I have 2 worm bins. I keep them in my living room. I made one of them out of a regular Rubbermaid tote. It's probably about 6 inches deep.
Great worm bins.
Yeah, absolutely. Something with a lid. Start off with about a pound of the red wigglers and some food scraps, some fruit and vegetable peelings.
Can they eat anything?
No, they can't eat everything. Think of worms as vegans.
So what? So I could give maybe my carrot shavings?
Absolutely.
What else?
Your fruit and vegetable peelings. Say you forgot about that random apple or maybe a random orange that got trapped in the back of the refrigerator and now is kind of smushy and kind of rotten. Things like that are great.
Coffee grounds.
Coffee grounds. They're just like us. They love coffee. They love sweet stuff for some strange reason. Strawberries, bananas.
Right. How
all
about
that stuff.
citrus?
Not so much citrus for your worm bin.
Yeah.
Worms, unlike us, they breathe through their skin. So anything that's going to touch their skin, especially something acidic or something kind of spicy like hot peppers, I generally avoid putting that in my worm bin.
If I grow some worms or a little bin in my classroom, what would I use the worm poop for if I don't have a ranch like Otis?
Worm castings are great for maybe you want to start your own garden at home.
For your house plants?
Houseplants.
Houseplants.
I have a lot of houseplants. What do you mean? What do you do?
Scratch it into the soil where you can so that you don't get it to volatilize into the atmosphere. But yeah, put it in your potting soil and just take your fingers and scratch it into that. It works fine.
I like to dilute mine to the color of weak tea and then use those to water my plants.
And of course, you can do both. You can scratch it into the soil and also put increased microbes in that by putting it into a bucket, stirring it, and then pouring it over the top.
Right.
Works beautifully. You'll get magical results.
Yes. So are you in for it? Are you going to become a new worm farmer?
Yeah, sure, worms are us.
That's it. So kids, it makes me a little sad, but it's about time for us to get back up that wormhole again. Is there anything that you guys learned or you want to appreciate about our time in the country?
I learned a lot about poop.
Yes. Are you going to make some poop smoothies when you get home?
God, I hope not.
Maybe to go with your French fries?
No way.
Yes. Well, how about you, Heavy?
I learned a lot about worms and all the things you can feed the worms, and I think I'm gonna try it at home.
I wish that we could thank Miss Harriet. She's the one that sent us on this. But, we got all her relatives here, I think, but we haven't seen her.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, hey, Harriet.
Hey, Harriet!
So, how was your tour?
Oh, it was so good. It was so fun. Thank you for sending us here.
Jamari, you okay? What's wrong?
I don't know what you guys are talking to. I can't see anything. I don't know. I'm just feeling a little disconnected.
Well, that's a shame. I think the secret is going to be spending more time outside. Spending more time touching the earth and communing with the earth. Digging holes, putting plants, planting seeds.
Jamari,
Yeah.
gotta get dirty.
All right.
Awesome.
Mama Wanda said I need to slow down, get more grounded, so I can see all the small things in life, get more connected to the earth. Guess I gotta just slow down. Slow down.
Hey, you over there.
Oh.
Yeah, you.
Hello?
Hey, friend of the potato.
Oh my gosh!
I'm the potato.
Wow! Oh my gosh! I think it's working!
Mori sangwari mori ki